Yes, dear students, so today let us we start to learn about the inorganic polymers. We have already studied about the organic polymers in the earlier classes. Now, let us we know about what are these inorganic polymers and how they differ from the organic polymers and general properties of inorganic polymers and so on. An inorganic polymer is a polymer with a skeletal structure that does not include carbon atoms in the backbone. All organic polymers, they contain the carbon backbone, that is carbon is attached to another carbon, CC bond continues. But in inorganic polymers, you don't have carbon backbone, but you have other than the carbon backbone. Polymers containing inorganic and organic are sometimes called hybrid polymers. Now these inorganic polymers, they not only have the apart from the carbon, the other elements in the backbone, but these elements, they are attached to the organic groups. For example, the methyl group, ethyl group, the phenyl group is attached to the elements in the inorganic polymers. Hence, these polymers are also called hybrid polymers. Most of the inorganic polymers are hybrid polymers. Examples of inorganic polymers include polysilanes. So polysilanes, they contain Si, the bond, and N number. These are the very few limited. N is very small number here. It is not like the carbon. Then we have polysiloxanes or silicones. So these silicones have SiOSi, the silicon oxygen, the chain, that is a backbone. And this silicon is a tetravalent. So on the silicon, you have the other two valencies of the silicon contains methyl, ethyl or phenyl groups. Then we have polysilazanes. These have silicon nitrogen backbone, and polysulfides have sulfur backbone. Polyphosphazenes have phosphorus nitrogen continuation. Polythiols have sulfur nitrogen enzymes. So these are the examples of inorganic polymers, and they contain, apart from the carbon, the other elements like silicon, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, etc. Let us study about the general properties of inorganic polymers. Inorganic polymers are stronger, harder and brittle than organic polymers. With few exceptions, inorganic polymers do not burn. They soften or melt at high temperatures. Whereas the organic polymers, they burn. Inorganic polymers are built up of highly polar substances, whereas the organic polymers, they are built up of non-polar substances. Hence, most of these polymers react with the solvents. This is very important. That's organic polymers, they dissolve in the solvent, they don't react with the solvent. Whereas the most of the inorganic polymers, they react with the solvents, giving the heat energy. These are less elastic than organic polymers. high density of covalent bonds are present in inorganic polymers. Of course, this is less in case of organic polymers. They are either pure amorphous or pure crystalline in nature. The inorganic polymers are either pure amorphous or pure crystalline in nature. Inorganic polymers are less ductile than organic polymers. The chain segments between cross links are usually short. This permits interaction of solvent molecules. So this is a difference between basically an organic and the inorganic polymers. Here the cross links are shorter, but whereas in the cross linkings are larger in organic polymers, therefore this permits interaction of solvent molecules. Inorganic polymers dissolve only in polar solvents, whereas the organic polymers, they dissolve in generally non-polar solvents. So these are some of the general properties of the inorganic polymers. Coming to the next classification of inorganic polymers. There are different ways of classifying the inorganic polymers. The first classification includes homogeneous polymers and heterogeneous polymers. The homogeneous polymers contain the atoms of only one element in their backbones. Example like silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, germanium and tin form homoatomic inorganic polymers. Coming to the heteroatomic inorganic polymers, they contain more than one atoms of different elements in their backbone. Examples like silicones, which contain sulfur and oxygen, polyphosphazenes contain phosphorus and nitrogen, polysilazanes contain silicon and nitrogen in their backbones. This is one way of classification. Another way of classification is inorganic polymers are classified into the three categories. One is addition polymers, second condensation polymers, third one coordination polymers. Addition polymers are obtained when many simple molecules combine together. For example, sulfur trioxide may be polymerized by the addition of small amount of water. Here, sulfur trioxide and water gets added and we get addition polymer. Similarly, sulfur dioxide reacts with propylene to give addition polymers. Here, sulfur dioxide and propylene adds one on each other. And that's how the polymer results. Coming to the another type known as condensation polymers, these are formed by the condensation process with the elimination of water, ammonia or HCl molecules. Examples of this type are silicones, phosphazenes, etc. The third classification is the coordination polymers. These are formed by combining a ligand with a metal ion. These polymers contain chelated metal atoms or ions. Coming to the third type of classification, this is based on the one element like boron polymers, silicon polymers, phosphorus polymers, sulfur polymers and so on. The fourth classification is based on two or more elements, that is siloxanes, phosphorus nitrogen polymers, phosphorus oxygen polymers, sulfur nitrogen polymers and so on. Now coming to the comparison. Many times they ask, compare the inorganic and organic polymers. So let us take this comparison of inorganic and organic polymers. First one, organic polymers contain carbon atoms in the backbone, whereas inorganic polymers contain other than carbon atoms like silicon, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur and phosphorus in the backbone. Second point, inorganic polymers are stronger, harder and more brittle than organic polymers. The third point, organic polymers burn while inorganic polymers do not burn. Fourth, organic polymers dissolve in non-polar solvents. Inorganic polymers dissolve in polar solvents. The fifth point, organic polymers do not react with the solvents. Inorganic polymers react with the solvents. Sixth point, organic polymers have long cross-linked structures. Inorganic polymers have short cross-linked structures. The seventh, organic polymers have partial crystalline and partial amorphous structures, whereas inorganic polymers have pure crystalline and pure amorphous structures. Some of the organic polymers are biodegradable, whereas inorganic polymers are non-biodegradable. So this is about the difference between the organic and the inorganic polymers. Students, let us see about these aspects. Now this organic and inorganic polymers, as I have said, here I have given some of the points. A polymer whose backbone chain is essentially made up of carbon atoms is termed as an organic polymer. The atoms attached to side valencies are oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, etc. Majority of synthetic polymers are organic polymers. For example, polythene, polyvinyl chloride. These are all the examples of organic polymers, which contains the carbon backbone. On the other hand, the polymers that do not contain a carbon atom in their backbone chain are called inorganic polymers. Here I have given the silicon polymers, where silicon oxygen and they are a backbone chain, and this silicon is attached to a R. R may be either methyl, ethyl or phenyl groups. So hence these are also known as hybrid polymers. Silicones and phosphazines are examples of inorganic polymers. Inorganic elements can have different valencies than carbon, and therefore different number of side groups may be attached to a skeletal atom. This will affect the flexibility of polymers, their ability to react with chemical reagents and interaction with other polymers. Among inorganic polymers, silicones and phosphazines are two important class of polymers with high commercial potential. So here the classification of the inorganic polymers are also given in another way. Inorganic polymers represent a rapidly growing field of chemical research and already have many applications, and any classification is necessarily somewhat arbitrary. N.H. Ray, in his book on inorganic polymers, uses connectivity as a method of classifying inorganic polymers. The other classifying will be introduced in the following. That is, one is wholly inorganic polymers, the inorganic organic polymers, organometallic compounds, hybrid organic and inorganic polymers. So this is how the NH ray classified in another way. The fully inorganic polymers, they contain the other than the carbon, the other elements like nitrogen, sulfur, silicon and so on. The inorganic organic polymers, they contain the other inorganic elements and the carbon in the backbone. Organometallic polymers, they contain the metal atoms and organic molecules in the form of a chain. And lastly, the hybrid organic inorganic polymers, which we have discussed, like silicones, phosphazines and so on. Here also I have shown what I have said about the difference between organic and inorganic polymers. Students, you go through this, and this already I have explained about these aspects more in detail. Here I have shown the various inorganic polymers like polyphosphazines. So polyphosphazines have in a skeleton the phosphorus and nitrogen. Between the two you have a double bond, and phosphorus is connected to R, where R may be methyl, ethyl or phenyl. We have polythiophosphazines, whereas nitrogen, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, nitrogen, phosphorus. So like this. So polythiophosphazines, here we have 3 elements in the skeleton. We have another polycarbophosphazines. Instead of sulfur, we have carbon in the chain. We have phosphazines. We have phosphazine ethylene glycol block copolymers. So these are all the various structures I have shown regarding the inorganic polymers. Students, go through these aspects. Basically, what are the inorganic polymers, how they differ from the organic polymers, and some of the general characteristics of the inorganic polymers. Thank you.